Okay, let me explain the second reason the bank may fail. That's what we call a bank become insolvent or bank has a negative bank capital. Suppose there's a bank. Let's use the T account to illustrate this. Liability and equity. The bank has a $100 deposit and the bank capital is the money contributed by the owners or shareholders. Suppose this bank has a $5 the bank capital. This bank keep $20 of the deposit as a reserve and lend out the rest of money as a loan. Because the two sides should be balanced, we actually can figure out how much loan the bank can lend out because the sum of the liability and equity is 105. So the asset side, the value of assets should be equal to 105. Then we use the 105 subtract the $20 reserve. We can find out the loan value for this bank is $85. So could this bank fail? Let's see what happened. And when the bank lend out the loans, some of the loans may turn out to be the bad loans, which means the borrowers of the loan are not able to pay back interest and the principals. And in this case, let's assume among $85 loans, $10 become the bad loans. So after this happened, banks have to write off their loans values because the $10 loan value disappeared. So what happened to the balance sheet? Asset, liability, and equity. Reserve here remain the same, $20. Because $10 loan become a bad loan, we will write off $10 from the $85 loan value. So the rest of the loan value is $75. So asset side, because of the decline in the loan value, the total asset is $95. So what happened to the liability and equity side? Can we reduce the deposit by $10 because of the bad loans? The answer is no, because deposit is a liability of the bank. Banks has an obligation to pay back this $100. And you can imagine the bank cannot say to the depositors, because we lose the money in the loan, we cannot pay back your money. So bank obligation to the depositors still $100. So now how can we balance this bank's balance sheet? The value of the liability and equity add up should equal the asset side, $95. In order to do this, the only way we can do is the bank capital become a negative $5. Means the decline of the value of the loan actually have an impact in the bank capital. So bank capital decline from 5 to negative 5 by $10. In this case, because bank capital, the value become negative. The bank will fail. Why? Some of you may ask why the bank capital value fall below zero. The bank will fail. Here, let's assume all the people now come here to withdraw this $100. Suppose if the bank liquidate all the assets, Does a bank has enough $100 to meet the $100 withdrawal? Right now, if bank liquidate the loan, which means if the bank call back loan, they can receive the $75 plus $20 reserve, so all the asset converted into the cash owing equal $95 is less their liability. So which means this bank liquidate all the assets. It still cannot meet withdrawal requirement. So that's the reason bank fail in this case. So bank capital cannot fall below the zeros. Otherwise, bank fails. In order to avoid the bank capital become the negative valued, the solution will be now we use the new balance sheet or T account. So bank still have a reserve 20. Bank still lend out a loan 85. So the asset side is exactly same as the asset side we showed previously. On the liability and equity side, now bank actually get more money from the bank capital. So which means they have more money contributed from the shareholders. Suppose now it's a $15. In order to balance, bank under this case only need, let's calculate. $90 here. So if let's bad loan $10 happen to this bank, can this bank still survive? Use the T account. Let's see what happened. Reserve $20. Because of the bad loan value declined to $75. So very similar to the case we illustrated previously. Deposit value remain the same because of the obligations. So bank capital now will decline by $10 as well. After $10 decline, bank still have a $5. We can see the two sides still balanced. So this bank actually can survive even the loan value decline by 10 because this bank has enough bank capital initially. Compared to the first case, the bank only keep the $5 as a bank capital. Second case, bank have adequate bank capital. In the future, if you become a banker, when you manage your bank, that's one of the things you need to pay close attention to. If you keep enough bank capital, like a second case here, $15, even after decline in the value of loan by certain amount, $10, your bank still can survive. But if you keep your bank capital only $5, like the first case, $10 decline in the value of the loan will lead to the failure of your banks. So after financial crisis, many countries regulators actually ask the bank to keep adequate bank capital or high enough. And you can imagine if we go back to the first case like this, when the financial crisis happened, when the housing market collapsed, a lot of the loan's value will decline to zero. If this bank owing $5 bank deposit, the bank will fail because the bank capital can easily become negative valued. But if the bank capital is high enough, like $15 in the second case, it actually can work as a cushion against the decline in the value of the loan. So that's the reason if you read the rest of this chapter, you find out the regulators have put a restriction on the minimum bank capital each bank need to have.